Michael?
No, I have it. We were just finishing editing it now. If you want, I can make copies literally the second if you like. Have your
Well,
committee assistant make it, or I can read whatever you like.
no, we like to see it, so, we need copies then.
Yeah, I can do that. Okay. Sure. I have the right-
Does it have a reference number on it?
It will.
It will, okay. Just gotta think it's for the record of action, what this looks like. Not a bill?
Not a bill, but I think
No, it's a house only resolution.
HR.
No.
Does it have a number?
It's 9189, right? Yeah, 9189 is a draft request number. At this point, it doesn't have an HR number, because it won't have an HR number till the committee votes it yes. And then in my office, we have to send it to Nigel, who will then give it an HR number.
Okay, so how do we, I wonder how we, well, so Dan, just,
You can call it 9189.
yeah.
I call it 9189 with
9189.
DR.
DR 9189.
Whatever he said. Okay, so why don't you, review what you've done, while Representative Bishop is making us some copies?
Great. Okay, good afternoon. For the record now, online, my name is Michael Chernick. I'm from Legislative Council. And I was in with all of you yesterday afternoon, and there was a request that I revise, have in JRH 9 to have a new focus, not an education focus on a particular educational communications method, but a statement supporting the work of affirming and supporting the work of the communications task force over at Dale. And to make some general statements about affirming the concepts that it adheres and are its basic tenets. So with that, this is the new resolution. It's a House resolution. And remember, this is a House resolution, as you all decided yesterday, because given where we are now, the 1st of May, concerns that it would at least become an official document. This will mean that it does not need to go to the Senate. So with that, it's a House resolution affirming that all Vermonters are competent to communicate and must be provided effective communications resources. Whereas in the early 1990s, Facilitated Communications, FC, were introduced in Vermont, and in 1994, practice and validation guidelines to enhance species integrity were implemented. And whereas in 2000, an important step in serving those Vermonters for whom alternative communications methods are essential occurred with the establishment of the Vermont Communication Task Force, a statewide communications network that works in coordination with the Department of Disabilities, Aging and Independent Living's Developmental Disability Services Division. And whereas the fundamental tenet of the task force is that all persons are competent, can communicate, and must receive the support, training, and technology needed to actively participate in all aspects of life. And whereas the task force, with the support of 2 regional communication specialists, offers guidance, policy recommendations, research monitoring, and training on the individual provider and state levels in the context of developmental disability services. And whereas this operational structure is intended to ensure Vermonters receive the necessary support to communicate through the method of their choice. And whereas it is of the utmost importance that individuals' communications challenges not be viewed as indicative of a limitation of their intellectual competence. And whereas in 2025, legislation was introduced in the New York State Assembly and Senate that would have established a communications bill of rights for individuals with disabilities. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this legislative body affirms that all Vermonters are competent to communicate and must be provided effective communications resources, and resolved that the clerk of the House send it to the Vermont Communications Task Force, which means technically it would get mailed to Dale unless there would be somebody here to receive it. And there you go.
Okay.
And Madam Chair, may I just make one comment?
Yes.
And that one comment deals with the last whereas clause. Just as an FYI for everyone, as you're considering what you want to do, is that legislation never passed. It was a House bill and a Senate bill. The House bill made it to the Senate, and the Senate killed it. And effective, apparently you can do this in New York, sent it back to the House, and the Senate bill never left committee.
That's okay. I put a strike through that.
I thought you might, but I decided since you discussed it yesterday.
Yeah, I was talking more about the language in there, not the reference to it. But you've covered the concepts in the rest.
I just
Yeah,
left it there in case you did want to include it.
and,
We'll strike it out. That's
okay, so since we're striking, I just want to correct a couple of things. So in the first whereas clause,
Mhm.
there's no S on communications, it's just communication. And so it would be was, not were.
We can deal with that. And then I might have that somewhere else. That may be the only time I use oh,
Sort
so I guess down where it says, whereas the task force, I should also strike the yes on communication. Or should I leave that in?
Which whereas you're.
I'm in the first, second, third, fourth. Where is the fourth? Where is the task force, comma?
Yeah, right.
Strike that S.
Two regional communications specialists, it's not communications.
Communication
Yes,
specialist.
communication specialist.
I'm just, if I may, and I see it also that individuals' communication, again, on the top of page 2, I'm striking that S.
Right,
And I also need to strike it in the first resolve clause, and I need to strike it in the title. Yes, I
yes.
struck it in all places. I think I've now caught all.
And
Oh, and there is one more. I should then strike it in the first whereas clause about two places in the first whereas clause, alternative communication methods as opposed to communications.
any place where
See the S, strike it?
yeah, you pretty much, yes, statewide communication network, yes.
Okay, so I now believe that I have caught all of the S's.
Okay, and then because this was a resolution that dealt with, can you read it up there for me, Ran JRH 9?
So a resolution urging the American Speech Language Hearing Association to reconsider its opposition to a rapid
Prompting
prompting
method,
method
okay.
of communication.
Okay, so this is, Representative Burt really brought this forward and I want him to be able to see something from his resolution here. So if we could have another whereas clause that says that method is used in Vermont to assist
I'm
individuals.
not sure if that's the case, though.
It is the case.
For sure that you
I'm
can,
absolutely sure it's the case. Yeah,
because we was told that they weren't allowed to use it, which is why everything started in the original drafting.
because people are
In a
using
school
it.
context, he was told that.
Yeah, well, that may be maybe that we should say, so.
A new
it's
final whereas
accurate.
clause.
There needs to be a new whereas that indicates that, we use that language, the, rapid, what's it called?
Rapid prompting method.
Rapid prompting method.
One of the things then,
You can just say, may enhance people's ability to communicate, something like that.
all right, no, that's fine. I just didn't want to say that without some documentation.
I get it. So that's why we say may.
Rapid prompting
Method
of
of
communication,
communication assistance.
of communication, in a singular.
Yes, yes.
Assistance may, let's try to say, may be beneficial for certain, may be an education,
Enough, may be beneficial to assist individuals with disabilities. to
Maybe-
communicate.
beneficial to assist individuals, and there we do want the S.
To communicate.
To communicate.
Okay, if we put
That
that,
would be my final whereas clause. Maybe wherever, where, yeah.
it actually should be up top, right
You
after,
want,
it should be right after FC.
you want that to be the second,
Yeah.
okay? That's doable.
Okay. Anybody else have any other feedback?
I guess I just have a question, and I understand that the task force statement is that all persons are competent. And we quote that, and then we have it in the resolved language. All are competent to communicate. I guess, is that correct? Should be, or should be presumed to be competent to communicate and given resources to do so? Because would there not be individuals who may not be ultimately?
Right, it should actually say, this legislative body affirms that all Vermonters should be presumed competent
Should
be
be presumed.
competent, and it's not to communicate. So it would say that this legislative body affirms that all Vermonters should be presumed competent and must be provided effective
Maybe
communication
communicate on.
resources.
And then I need to change up at the top. The further open, presumed to be in the title, presume to be competent
Competent,
and must be provided, etc.
effective communication resources. Go ahead.
And then I wondered in the resolved, it seemed to me the language that we heard, some of the language you heard talked about the notion that people should be able to choose their preferred method of communication, not just provided effective communication resources. And I don't know,
Resources of their choice.
yeah. Provided communication resources.
Of their choice at their end. I'll put that right at the end
Take out effective.
and presume. to-
No, leave in effective.
Effective?
Yeah, leave it
Leaving it in
effective.
or I'm leaving it in,
All right.
of their choice.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm scribbling right here as we go.
Oh.
All very doable, but I'm not making sure that I have it correctly the way you want it.
Thank you.
All right, so that will read now. Resolved by the House of Representatives that this legislative body affirms that all Vermonters should be presumed competent and must be provided with effective communication resources of their choice.
And the title will match that.
Correct.
Oh,
Okay,
Should-
okay?
be presumed. Okay,
Brian.
that's all doable. Go
Okay,
back.
so I think we'll wait until Tuesday to vote on this.
So do you want to schedule me for a time to come in with a clean copy? And in the meantime, I could get it to your committee assistant?
Yes, if you could get it to our committee assistant electronically, so it can be posted. I think if you make these changes, I don't think we need to have you here to vote on it. You're welcome to come if you would like,
No,
but
but I will make an effort to get this to you before, to your committee assistant, say before 4:30
today?
today.
Oh, well, that's fine. Yeah, we'll vote it on it. We'll vote on it Tuesday morning.
Okay, let me try to get it to you.
Because guess what?
Monday's fine.
Okay.
The rest of us aren't sticking around till 4:30. So, but we appreciate that you have to. Yeah.
Thank you very kind.
Thank you very much,
You
Michael.
will get back to me on the other matter.
I will get back to you, yes. Actually, maybe we can talk offline in a minute, if you have a couple minutes.
I absolutely do.
Okay, great. Okay, folks, so we are going to concentrate on getting S-198 out, which is the tobacco bill next week. And to finish our work on 193. And we are going to take the cannabis bill testimony. We're taking cannabis bill testimony. I would encourage you to take a look at, Lori, help me remember the.
Okay.
I know about the bill.
278.
278?
Yeah, that sounds right.
I think it's S-278. It's in House Gov Ops right now. I have read through the bill. The only part you need to read is the first page. You can read the rest of it, but the first page is doubling. We're not going to take any testimony on the rest of it. We're just going to take public health testimony on the doubling of the amount you can purchase and doubling of something else, both on the first page. Potency, yeah. And we're not going to take possession of the bill. We are going to provide feedback to the House Government Operations Committee. So we will hear from the Health Department and we will hear from the Cannabis Control Board. So that is going to be next week as well. And then we can go offline. Thank you, Lori. But don't anybody leave just yet.